Welcome, dear Eclipse viewers. Let me welcome you to our flight Lufthansa 730 from Munich to Hong Kong tonight. Let me introduce myself. My name is Helmut Wagner. I will be the captain for the flight.
Hello, my name is Christian. I'm the senior first officer on this flight from Munich to Hong Kong for Lufthansa German Airlines on the A380. And today we're going to fly from Munich, but since we are based in Frankfurt, we meet here near the Munich airport in a hotel, and then from here we go to meet the rest of the crew at the airport, do our briefing, do our preparations at the airport, and then continue on the airplane and do our flight preparations, and we will see you there then.
As a specialty today, as always, we will be 3 pilots on the way to Hong Kong, and today it will be senior first officer training for our 3rd crew member who will meet us at the airport later on. Senior first officer is a first officer who will be in charge when the captain has his rest time during the cruise. Well guys, now we're in the cockpit and we got everything settled. We went from the hotel to our flight operations center at Munich and did our cockpit briefing there with everybody, all 3 cockpit members. Thereafter we checked in with the cabin crew, did the extensive cabin crew briefing due to the route with a special airway, and thing is, now we're in the cockpit, the preparations are nearly done. And I'd like to introduce Benjamin, our first officer this time.
Yeah, hi, I'm Benjamin. I'm the first officer today on our flight to Hong Kong. Actually, I'm the pilot monitoring today, so Helmut is flying the airplane. I'm doing the RT today. I'd like to welcome you on board on this flight to Hong Kong and enjoy a flight with us.
We choose some very nice weather today for our departure from Munich. It's raining outside, so I did the walk around already, but I'm going to show you some highlights of it very shortly outside. Come on.
Okay.
So for once we have to check our static and pitot tubes, so right here, so we can where we measure our altitude and airspeed. That's very important. Second, we have to check the tires, if there are any cuts, the fuselage overall for sure, and then the lights. Since we're doing a night flight, we have to check our navigation lights at the end of each wing. So the green light on the right and the red light on the left. And then we're going to check the engines, just the overall appearance of the engines, if there are any damages that we can see, if there are any fluids leaking underneath. So everything looks fine, no fluid leaking, and everything is closed. That's about the important thing. Then we have the gear on the 380. There are the body gear and the wing gears. We have 6 tires on each body gear. There are 4 braked, and we have 4 on each wing gear. So we have 16 tires with brakes to brake us down to taxi speed after landing. So we see the tires, there are no cuts in this tire. We have to check it all over, and we have to check if it's bolted right here, if it doesn't come loose. And very important, we have to check the brake wear pins. The brake wear pins, that we can see if the brake is worn or if it's good. And this is very good, it's pretty new. This one is a little less, but still good for a couple of flights. That's about it for the main gear. Okay, you can see our huge vertical stabilizer on the A380 and tail section. This has the width of a 320 aircraft, so pretty huge. And this looks fine as well. Okay, since this is called the walk around, we're going to walk around all the aircraft, check the fuselage. We start at one end and then go around the whole aircraft in a clockwise pattern, check everything. And since it looks good, fuselage is fine, engines are fine, we can commence our flight to Hong Kong. So preparations are almost finished. Last passengers are boarding. Let's go to Hong Kong.
We'll be departing Munich on either runway 26 left preferably or 26 right.
Yep.
The specials today, we checked the technical status of the aircraft, that's okay. And what else? We do have the OEB number 19.
Yep.
Still, that means at the last possible time before takeoff, we switch off one pack and the cross bleed to open.
Right.
Okay. And for the departure route, we expect the Anchor departure route will lead straight ahead, and then initially 1900 feet towards Delta Mike 051 with a speed limit of 220 knots, then Delta Mike 056 with a speed limit of 250 knots, Delta Mike 057 and Anchor initially altitude 5000.
It's 70.
70.
Right? 70.
Right, you are.
Lufthansa 3 X-Ray Romeo.
We are at Munich. It's flight level 70.
3 X-Ray Romeo, Servus. Taxi via the blue line to Sierra 9. Once you reach it, contact apron 2.
In case of engine failure, it will be straight ahead. We follow the track outbound and fly to at least an altitude of 3,000 feet. That's the acceleration altitude I put in a performance speech.
Yep.
So, for the performance, the V1 is 136, VR 159er, V2 166 with a flex temperature of 39 degrees. Flaps 1 for takeoff, and thrust reduction acceleration altitude both 2,470. The transition altitude for Munich is 5 there's defeat.
Right.
And that's it. And secondary flight plan is inserted with an ILS 26 left.
Okay. So no return. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No return on the secondary tube. Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
The takeoff performance, we have a V1 range of 135 to 139. So 136 is a rather low one. That means for a takeoff aboard, the more we approach the V1 call, the more reluctant I am to abort the takeoff.
Okay.
So I am go-minded.
Yeah.
But if we have to, we can stop up to V1. We have a toss effect of 280 meters.
Hey, Bravo, Lufthansa Assembly, Papa stand 332, request pushback.
Service again,
It
7
is
Lima
wet,
Papa,
it's
push
raining.
approved, face south onto the blue line.
Push
That
approved,
should not
facing
affect our
south,
flight.
blue line, Lufthansa Assembly, Papa.
You're right.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else? Any comments?
Not yet.
Great.
Yeah, so I had another departure message here for new TSAT is 2040 now. It's just a minute.
Switching back and forth.
Yeah.
Well, for the viewers, we did our briefing here. Now we wait until the doors are closed and last bags loaded, and then we can commence our flight.
Yeah, just looking. Still boarding.
Yep.
Yeah, it takes sometimes on the A380 till everybody is in the airplane finally.
The departure routes are RNP1 or RNAV1, GPS required. That's what we have.
Right, we have that.
Okay, I'll answer the phone then. Ja, Wagner, Lufthansa 730. Okay. Jawohl, das ist gut. Ja, danke, Wiedersehen. Okay, ramp agent sent 5 minutes more to load everything.
Well,
They had to rearrange the bags.
okay, well we have the time as it looks like.
Yeah.
Departure clearance, cleared from Munich to Hong Kong. 26 left, Anchor 7
Beautiful.
Sierra, 3622 on the squawk. Set. Slot 56, next frequency 12173.
Okay, report ready on
Lufthansa 7
Yeah.
cleared for Budapest. KD,
Solid coordinates, okay.
26 left, squawk 1000, start
Acknowledged.
approved.
So clearance is as expected for runway 26 left.
2171 Lufthansa 7 Hotel Echo. Danke, einen schönen Abend noch, Servus.
And clearance confirmed.
Yep.
So pushback driver is here.
Okay.
On delivery Lufthansa 7 Hotel Echo, würden Sie im Ground nochmal Bescheid sagen, dass wir gehen dürfen?
Jawohl, bitte.
Die Lufthansa 7 Hotel Echo, der Ground lässt uns nicht los.
Müsste jetzt was da sein.
Gut, ich frage nochmal.
All with the guest.
Alright.
Ladies and gentlemen, your captain speaking. Let me introduce myself personally. My name is Helmut Wagner. Here in the cockpit, your first officers, Mr. Christian Propfe and Mr. Benjamin Röllinghoff. You have already met our cabin staff under the supervision of Mrs. Beate Lezoin and Mrs. Sabine Schild. They will make everything possible that you feel fine aboard. Thing is, loading is finished in about 2 to 3 minutes, as they told us. So we expect the departure in a couple of minutes. Make yourself comfortable aboard our nice A380 aircraft. Yeah, thank you for listening in.
Yeah.
Going close, that's good. Load sheet.
Load sheet. ground, Lufthansa 730, superposition 317. We're fully ready.
For DCL, we get to receive reply.
At first, Lufthansa 730, good news, slot cancelled, so start up approved now. Further EBREN 12171. Schönen Abend, Servus.
Lufthansa 730, ja, vielen Dank. 121, S71, Ihnen auch schönen Abend, ciao.
In that case, before start checklist.
For start, gear pins covers. Removed. Fuel quantity.
171.400 kilograms.
Cockpit bitte. Reference value.
Hallo Boden, ganz kleinen Moment bitte.
Bräuchte man nur schnell die Bremse bestätigen, dann könnt ihr anheben, der Pin wäre drin.
Ja, Bremse ist an.
Gut.
Our reference value.
1023 and 1,460 feet.
1023, 1460 feet down to the line.
Stand by a second. Go ahead. Below the line.
Windows, doors.
Closed.
Closed. Parking brake.
Is on. Will be off. Push back.
Mobile.
Off.
Delta
Full
5,
start.
Delta 4,
Checklist complete.
Sierra
Check.
8, Lufthansa 666.
Pushback.
Yeah.
Apron, schönen Abend, Lufthansa 730, superposition 317, request push.
Lufthansa 730, Servus, your pushback is approved, facing south.
Push approved, face south, Lufthansa 730.
So, hallo Boden.
Ja, Sie können die Bremse schon mal lösen, bitte.
Bremse ist gelöst, wir sind fertig zum Pushback. Die Nase nach Süden.
Gleich geht's los. Müssen wir noch schnell die Klötze raustun?
Hoffe man denkt.
Gut, dann sind alle vier, also die Triebwerke beim Anlassen sage ich nachher Bescheid, wir tun jetzt mal pushen Richtung Süden und Singleman haben wir auf alle Fälle.
Verstanden.
Wissen Sie
Auflaufzeit
unser Verfahren bei uns?
Genau.
Sie wissen es, ja?
Ja, weiß ich.
Alles klar, gut.
Was hast du gesagt? 33, pushback.
Half-block time 33.
Lufthansa 6 Victor X-ray, contact ground 121.83, ciao.
12180, Lufthansa 6 Victor X-ray, ciao.
Delivery, good evening, Oman 124.
Oman 124, good evening. Your startup clearance has been cancelled due to exceeded TSAT. You have to go back to delivery for a new clearance.
Okay, we'll do that, Oman 124.
Company message.
That's yours.
That's mine.
So, dann haben wir das erste geschafft, dann geht es ein paar Meter in die andere Richtung.
Lufthansa 726, taxi to entry November 4 via Delta 2 Oscar 2.
Lufthansa 726, Delta 2 Oscar 2, number 4.
Dann können Sie mir bitte die Bremse setzen und alle vier Triebwerke sind klar.
Ja, da wurden die Parkbremse ist gesetzt. Bitte Schleppgerät und Steuerungspin entfernen und wir lassen an.
Jawohl.
Dieses Flugzeug hat 16 Notausgänge. 6 im Oberdeck.
I will turn away to your right hand side. When clear, taxi straight at entry Sierra 7.
When clear of the Canadair, straight ahead, Sierra 7, Lufthansa 790.
Wenn Sie dann soweit sind, können wir einen Pin ziehen.
Ja, Pin können Sie ziehen.
Kann ich mich dann schon abhängen?
Können Sie.
Gut, dann.
Wir warten aufs Handsignal auf der rechten Seite. Einen schönen Abend noch wieder.
Den wünsche ich auch und einen guten Flug noch. Servus, danke.
Lufthansa 5, Mike, Servus, left on our blue line and then Oscar 2 to entry Sierra 8. Lufthansa 790, contact ground 121.83, ciao.
121.83, Lufthansa 790, ciao.
Guten Abend, Lufthansa 1 Mike Lima, Taxi bitte.
Okay, Lufthansa 1 Mike Lima, Servus, there's a company crossing from the right hand side, the Canadair. S number 2, taxi blue line, Oscar 2, entry Sierra 8.
Blue line, Oscar 2, Sierra 8, November Juliet is inside behind, Lufthansa 1 Mike Lima.
Lufthansa 726, contact tower 118.705, ciao.
Lufthansa 726, 118.705, ciao.
And April, Oman 124.
Oman 124, hello, go ahead.
Oman 124, we have 10249 Alpha, we are now ready for push and start.
Oman 124, roger, pushback approved, facing south.
Pushback approved, facing south, Oman 124.
Guten Abend, Eurowings 1919, approaching November 3.
Eurowings 1919, guten Abend, then 209 Alpha, taxi via Whiskey 2.
Whiskey 2, 209 Alpha, wunderbar, vielen Dank, schönen Abend noch, Eurowings 1919.
Flight controls.
Lufthansa 5 Mike, contact ground 121.83, ciao.
Full right. Neutral.
Danke ebenfalls.
Full down. Full up. Neutral.
Rudder.
Full left. Full right. Neutral.
Lufthansa 1 Mike Lima, contact ground 121.83, ciao.
After that, hier Eis.
Schönen Abend, tschüss.
Flight controls.
Checked.
Checked. Pitch trim.
Checked.
After start check is complete.
Checked.
This aircraft has 16 emergency exits. 6 in the upper deck and 10 in the main deck.
Taxi bitte.
Lufthansa 730, request taxi.
Lufthansa 730, taxi to entry Sierra 8 via Delta 3, Oscar 2.
Lufthansa 730, Delta 3, Oscar 2 for Sierra 8, confirmed?
Confirmed.
Okay.
Clear right side.
Ja.
Und da steht er auch im Dunkeln. Ja, there he is.
So
Okay.
give him the all clear sign,
Yeah,
please.
Oh, you got it.
Already gone.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Lufthansa 7 Mike Romeo,
There we go.
hello. Right
Left
out,
side is
taxi
clear.
Clear right
Oscar
side.
3 and Delta 6 to the west.
Brake check.
Pressure 0.
for our airclip view. Thing is, A380 is a very large aircraft with around 80 meters of span, so it takes a lot of caution taxiing.
And a lot of thrust to get it going.
Right, yeah.
So second one to the right, Delta 3.
Yep.
Benny, would you like to do the cabin announcement yourself, or shall I do it?
Yeah, I do it myself, thank you.
Okay.
Lufthansa 7 Mike Romeo, continue entry November 4 by Oscar 2.
So right side is clear,
yep.
Green lights.
Lufthansa 7 Mike Romeo, contact tower 118.705. Ciao.
So Oscar 2 is
first one to the left then.
First to the left, right?
Yeah. Lufthansa 730 approaching Sierra 8.
Call you back shortly.
Sure.
Lufthansa 730, contact ground 121.83, ciao.
Lufthansa 730, 121.83, ciao. Reaching ground to Menab, Lufthansa 730, Sierra 8.
Position Menab, Lufthansa 730, Sierra, Bravo 15, holding 26 left.
Sierra, Bravo 15, holding 26 left, Lufthansa 730. Sierra first to the left.
Yep.
And Bravo 15 is full length.
Lufthansa 730, report ready for departure.
Lufthansa 730, call you ready.
Will you take quite a while to be ready, or will it be fast?
Well, Lufthansa 730, we expect to be ready when we're on the runway, at the runway.
Okie dokie.
Munich ground, good evening. Oman 124 approaching Sierra 8.
Oman 124, I call you back behind the 380 crossing right left.
124, yeah.
Well, as everybody can see, you have to use a lot of oversteer with a long A380.
So cabin is ready.
In that case, before takeoff checklist.
Before takeoff, V1, VR, V2, thrust rating.
138, 159 or 166 and flex 39
124 behind the Emirates coming
138, 159, 166, flex 39 down to the line.
Roger, behind the Emirates, continue, Sierra, Bravo 15 holding 0.26 left behind Oman 124.
Lufthansa 730, ready for departure.
Das ist ja wunderbar, Lufthansa 730. So you may take Bravo 14 if you like, and contact Tower 120.505, ciao.
120.505 and Bravo 14, Lufthansa 730. München Tower, Schöneberg, Lufthansa 730, super, ready for departure.
Lufthansa 730, guten Abend, Roger. There's still departures on the northern runway going to the north, so initially hold cut 2 holding point, please. I have to call you back.
Yep. Lufthansa 730 holding cut 2 Bravo 14.
Tower, hello Emirates, 35 Quebec, super, approaching Bravo 15, ready?
Emirates 35 Quebec, good evening. Wind 26013 knots, runway 26 left, clear for takeoff.
Runway 26 left, clear for takeoff, Emirates 35 Quebec.
Lufthansa 790, so we change over?
Lufthansa 790, correction, continuous line flight level 100.
Emirates departure to the south, probably.
Yeah, most probably.
Get in front of us.
Lufthansa 790 for further contact radar 127.950. Guten Flug.
7.950, Lufthansa 790, Dankeschön, am Ciao.
Okay.
So let's recheck. The fuel aboard is 170,600 kilograms, which is enough for a flight.
Yep.
That's fine. All other preparations have been made, and the intersection is calculated. We check the takeoff data for the Bravo 13 intersection.
Right.
Lufthansa 730, line up runway 26 left and wait.
Lufthansa 730, line up runway 26 left and wait.
Okay, so do the switching, please. Below the line.
Takeoff runway.
That's runway 26 left, intersection Bravo 14.
Bravo 14, 26 left, pack 1 and 2.
Pack 1 on AP.
Before takeoff check is complete.
Checked.
I'll switch on the weather radar here.
Yes, please. So you are on weather radar?
Yeah,
and I'll be on terrain.
Okay, that's what we do.
So runway head is indicating we may enter the runway.
Right, approach sector looks clear.
Yeah. Lights are on.
Okay.
Now I need a little more thrust to turn the aircraft around, because when we pass the center line it will be the way up.
Emirates 35 Quebec, contact departure 127.950, goodbye.
2795, take ignite, Emirates 2, correction, 35 Quebec.
Wind seems to be nice and steady on the nose.
Yes, I saw the windsock on the left here. Would you two be ready for takeoff?
I'm ready.
Great. So we just wait for the clearance.
Lufthansa 730, wind 26015 knots, runway 26 left, clear for takeoff.
Lufthansa 730, clear takeoff, 26 left.
Takeoff. Stabilized. Man flag 39 SRS runway on the first blue.
Good evening, line up runway 26 left and wait.
Thrust
Good
sets.
evening, line up 26 left and wait, Common 124.
Knots.
Checked.
V1.
Rotate. Positive climb.
Gear up.
Gear up.
Contact radar 123.905, guten Flug.
730-123-905, danke, schönen Abend so. With departure, schönen Abend, Lufthansa 730 Super 2500 climbing double 70.
Fast 3 and climb 2, climb all blue 7000.
Lufthansa 730, identified climb flight level 100.
Lufthansa 730, climbing level 100.
Eurowings 1851, turn left heading 330.
Left heading 330, Eurowings 1851.
Easy 35 Papa Kilo, climb flight level 190.
Climb flight level 190, Easy 35 Papa Kilo.
Is done.
Easy 35 Papa Kilo, passing flight level 80, direct give me.
Passing flight level 80, direct give me, Easy 35 Papa Kilo.
Emirates 35 Quebec, fly heading 150, climb flight level 190.
Heading 150, climbing 190, Emirates 35 Quebec.
Eurowings 1851, descent 5000 feet.
Descent 5000 feet, Eurowings 1851.
Start motion 285, connect tower 120505, goodbye.
120505, start motion 285, goodbye.
Left 0.
Easy 35 Papa Kilo, no speed restriction, contact radar 129.1, goodbye.
Free speed 129.1, Easy 35 Papa Kilo, good night.
Eurowings 1851, heading 295, clear LS 26 left.
Heading 295, clear LS 26 left, Eurowings 1851.
Emirates 35 Quebec, heading 100.
Heading 100, Emirates 35 Quebec.
I'll switch over to weather radar.
Roger.
Eurowings 1851, reduce speed 170 knots.
Speed 170, Eurowings 1851.
107 Kilo Hotel, descent flight level 80.
107 Kilo Hotel, descent level 80.
Emirates 35 Quebec, turn further left, direct CAD.
Standard at level 52.
Direct
Standard level 52.
to position, Kirby, Emirates 35 Quebec.
Class 7 Kilo Hotel, prepare 26 left.
Class 7 Kilo Hotel, 26 left.
Emirates 35 Quebec, contact Vienna, radar 132950, goodbye.
32950, take care, Emirates 35 Quebec.
Lufthansa 730, passing flight level 80, direct Bay Pass, climb flight level 190.
Lufthansa 730, passing level 80, direct B, pass climb level 180, confirm.
Passing 80, direct Bay Pass, Vanema Bay Pass, free speed, Lufthansa 730.
Confirm level,
Level
please.
730, passing B pass, free speed, passing 80 to B pass and confirm cleared level.
Lufthansa 730, passing 80, free speed inbound Bay Pass, and climb flight level 190.
Climbing level 190 and passing B pass, free speed.
We're left at 190.
80, free speed.
Genau, Lufthansa 730.
Jetzt habe ich.
Arrival, schönen guten Abend, Lufthansa 9 Papa Hotel, 209 is heading 150.
Lufthansa 9 Papa Hotel, all identified. Delta Mike 421 to 429, expecting 26 left. Lufthansa 730, contact now, radar 132.555, goodbye.
132.555, Lufthansa 730, Tom. München, schönen Abend, Lufthansa 730, passing level 905, come level 190.
Lufthansa 730, München identified, Servus.
München approach 552, reach approaching level 250.
You want to still wait for the cabin to be released?
I don't think so. We can release them.
Seatbelts are auto.
Yep.
Portugal 552, Hisham flight level 150, speed 290 knots for greater.
Level 150, speed 290 knots for greater, approach 552.
I'll try 250 Costinix.
Okay.
Now after takeoff I will check the airplane system.
Airflow 2594, München identified, hello. Lufthansa 726, München, contact now Prague 120, decimal 275, so bye.
726, 120, 275, tschüss.
Easy 35 Papa Kilo, flight direct Lore.
Regular Gazy 35 Papa Kilo.
Okay, Eclipse fans, now we are in the cruise and let me give you some brief information. We did a takeoff. After takeoff I checked the instruments and airplane systems. Now in the cruise one of our pilots already left the cockpit and has his 3 hours of sleep for this flight. Now let me show you what I mentioned before. I checked the instruments, the airplane systems. We got our display right in the middle here. Now it says engine and we can pull up every single system of this airplane, like the lead situation, the air conditioning, or let's say the fuel with the fuel tanks. And you can see right now there is a fuel transfer going on from one tank to the 4 feed tanks. Interesting, lots of wheels on the system, and we got the hydraulic system running. Well, for the routing we left Munich with a turn to the north, and then further on we passed the Czech Republic, and we passed now through Belarus, further on by the Russian Federation. And we have reached our cruising level of 35,000 feet right now. We'll be climbing later on a little bit more than that. So for now it's quite smooth. The weather is fine, and for the long range flights our job is not steering the airplane but managing the system. I'd like to give some brief information about a flying career, as I had the chance to have it. It started in school time, where I did not know what to do, so I read a book about jobs and about possibilities in the professional sense, and I had about 3 choices, and one of them was being a pilot. And I had to think, well, that's fine, because it adds travel to some technical background, and that's what fascinated me. So I tried that, guys, and everybody said, well, you will not pass the test, but actually I did. And so I started my career learning how to fly at Lufthansa Flight School, as it was formerly known. And after that I started my career at Frankfurt on the 737, and let me tell you that they're rather old ones. I started on a 737-100, and we had 6 737-200s. They were mixed version. You could fly during daytime with the passengers, and during nighttime they acted as freighters. And let me tell you that was really basic flying with those machines. Well, then it took about 7 years, and then I had the chance to transfer to the A310, a very, very modern airplane for those times. And it was easy to fly, very comfortable, and it had performance. Well, to become a captain, I changed back to the 737s, then it was the 300s, the 500s, and we even had some 400s at those times. During that time, it took about 4 years, and then I had the first chance to do some training. So I became type rating instructor, type rating examiner on 737s. And then, last not least, and around 2002, I said, well, I should have a look at the long-range flights, and so I transferred to A340, and I had the whole range. That's a 330, 340, and 340-600 that I flew, until I had the chance to transfer to the A380, which is what we fly now. And it took about half a year, then they asked me again to work as a training and check captain again here on the A380. And well, that's where I am right now, on the way to Hong Kong. Let's talk about the A380, guys. And it is the largest passenger airplane in the world. And I mentioned that during taxi. It has a wide span of round about 80 meters. And the weights are amazing. We had a takeoff weight of 528 tons at Munich, which is really something. It's astonishing how little inputs keep that airplane flying. It flies excellent. It's very agile, and it is very quiet for an airliner. So, the tactical side, there are several systems that are really different from the normal airliners. Let's say about the hydraulic system. We have 2 hydraulic systems, but if all of those 2 fail, we still are able to fly. We switch on the autopilot and fly to the nearest diversion airport, which is rather good. And even then, we still have some redundancy. Well, guys, since we're flying for a couple of hours now, we still have a lot of night time. As you can see outside, it's still dark, and it will be dark for the next hours, which is rather demanding on us pilots, on our cabin crew, and on the passengers as well. So we are looking forward to our stay at Hong Kong then. And well, since we have been there a couple of times, we have our restaurants. We like to go there, and we like to have a good rest at the hotel. Sometimes you can use the swimming pool, do some sports, do some jogging. And for Hong Kong, there's even the chance for some beautiful hikes in the mountains of Hong Kong. So, gave you a good background about the flying and about carriers. And if you guys out there are interested in the job, the only thing I can recommend, go ahead and try the test. Then you can decide what to do. I love my job, and the thing is, I would not have done anything different than I had. So, I think it's an excellent job.
Yeah, we're here at the A380, the largest Airbus aircraft. It's my, third or fourth Airbus aircraft I fly. I started flying on the A320, then changed over to the long-haul flights on the A340, and A330. And a couple of years ago I had the chance to fly the A380, so I took the chance, and I do not regret it at all. It's a beautiful aircraft, it flies really well, it's really big, but flies more or less like a small aircraft. And it's quiet, and it's a very nice working place. The instruments are very similar on all the Airbus aircraft. So from the A320 via the A340 and now to the A380, the systems are always at the same place. So you find yourself at home if you know any of the other aircraft. There are some minor differences, but generally it's the same layout here in the cockpit. I really like that, and it makes flying another Airbus aircraft, learning to fly another Airbus aircraft so much easier. If you like, I can point out some of the systems here on the A380. We have our center pedestal here with the thrust levers, 4 thrust levers for the 4 engines. And we have our landing flaps, the speed brake here, a couple of systems here. There's the radios, one for the captain, one for the co-pilot, and another one up here we have for our observer, because sometimes we are 3 pilots here in the cockpit and need 3 radios. Then we have all our displays. You can see them, they're like doubled. We have the 2 main displays for each pilot, and then systems displays, and here we have the flight plan. We have our maps here on another display as well. This used to be just a paper clipboard where you have the paper maps which had to be updated every couple of weeks. So this is so much easier with a moving map display where you can always see the aircraft symbol, so you know exactly where you are. And then we have here the dashboard with the controls for the autopilot, and also the display here, our navigational display, where you can change between different views, and some more. And then we have our overhead panel. It's what I was talking about earlier when I talked about the systems and the layout on each Airbus aircraft. It's always the same layout. We start on the top with our fire panel. There are all the controls for the fire extinguishers for the engines. Then we have an hydraulic panel with all the hydraulic pumps and so on, followed by the fuel panel, where you have all the fuel pumps which you can switch on and off. Then the electric panel with the batteries, electric power, generators, etc. This is the air condition panel, where you can switch between the 2 packs. Usually we have them both on. You can fly with 1 pack only if you need for air conditioning and pressurization. We have the 4 bleeds from the 4 engines. And finally down here we have the external lights, like our navigational lights I talked about earlier, and when we did the walk around we have engine start and anti-ice, all this stuff. And in all the other Airbus aircraft, the A320 and the A340, you find the same layout So if you look up, the systems are always at the same place. That's a really nice thing. Okay, concerning steering this large aircraft, we have our side stick here. Looks like a joystick from computer games, and it works just like that. It's you only need very small movements to move this large aircraft about here, and you might have noticed this little thing here on the side. It's only for moving the aircraft around on the ground. It's like our steering wheel, and the specialty here in the Airbus aircraft is that you have a steering wheel on both sides. Many other aircraft only have a steering wheel on the captain's side, but on the Airbus aircraft also the co-pilot can possibly steer the aircraft on the ground. So when you taxi, you can do it from the co-pilot side as well. But nevertheless, in Lufthansa Airlines, the captain steers the aircraft on the ground, so he does taxiing, and the co-pilot usually doesn't do that. Okay, here on the 380 we have our table, but it's not simply a table. We have an integrated keyboard like on a computer, so we can do our entries here. We have an electronic flight plan and can insert our fuel checks and the fuel data here, and we can move about our display here, going back to our map with a cursor, and we can enter whatever we like to do, or look up our documents, things like that in our manuals. And you might have noticed there is another keyboard down here, and we don't have a cursor down here, but we have a tracking ball. There we can move about these three displays. We can switch between the displays by those buttons, and then we can move about our navigational map. We can, for example, look up information of an airport, like this one. I can look up some data. I can see Uniform Whiskey Oscar Oscar is Orenburg. I can see the runway they have with the runway length, so the main data I have here with one click.
So this is one of our flight crew rests. We have two here on the A380 because the aircraft is made for even longer flights and larger crews then two pilots can do their break at the same time in different crew rests. This one will be used by me now. I'm gonna take a break and we'll be back when the sun is up again. So good night and see you soon.
Hi guys, welcome back. I just returned from my crew rest. I had about 3 hours, so I slept well, and now I'm back in the seat here. I'd like to tell you something about why I started to become a pilot, why I'm sitting right here now. Thing is, when I was a little kid, when I was 3 or 4 years old, I started going to the airport with my grandma at that time. I lived quite near the airport, so that wasn't. It was around the corner, and well, I often went there and looked at the airplanes and was fascinated by them. Then the wish grew in me to become a pilot. So when I grew up, it always was there somehow. And after I finished school, I just tried to become a pilot by getting to Lufthansa, and trying to convince them to take me to become a pilot. And well, actually they took me. I passed the test there, and I'm right now, nearly 20 years later, I'm sitting here. So I went to pilot school then, and studied at university something to do with the aviation, and then Lufthansa offered me a job by Condor, a subsidiary at that time, and I was there for 5 years as a co-pilot on the A320. Afterwards I changed to Lufthansa short haul, A320 also, 6 years, and then last year I decided to go to long haul and applied for the A380. And that's why I'm sitting here now. And maybe you've noticed when we did the takeoff, I was in the right seat that time, acting as a co-pilot. And right now I'm sitting in the left seat, and that's why. It's because I am actually grading up to becoming an SFO, Senior First Officer. That's the guy who's sitting in the left seat when the captain is in the crew rest. So he takes over duties of the captain, while then he's in charge, actually. So on the left seat sits the Senior First Officer, and on the right-hand seat there's the First Officer. Now, right now I'm grading up, and Helmut is right now supervising me on the left-hand seat. It's the first time for me to sit in the left-hand seat. The last 12 years I always sat in the right seat, so it's quite unusual for me, this view here. I'm still getting used to it. Yeah, right now we're in Kazakhstan airspace, and about in 2 hours we're about to pass the border to China. So that's the next big thing to happen here. Meanwhile, we're doing our tea, and the workload is quite low. Yeah, good morning, guys. We're back again. The flight deck, as you can see outside, it's daytime already. So we basically flew over the Himalaya, over high terrain. Now we're on a route, well, nearly towards Hong Kong. We're approaching Hong Kong in approximately 1 hour from now. Preparing now for the approach, and As you can see, I'm back in the right-hand seat now, and waiting for Helmut to get back from his rest, as he will conduct the landing later on. We're right now in a turn. Maybe you can see it here, turning left now, and then we're on the direct course towards Hong Kong. You can see the routing here. We're right now at this point. It's called Dudit, and further on our flight continues here. This is VHHH is Hong Kong. So we're right now at this corner here, and we're heading towards here. The Chinese airspace lasts till shortly before the boundary here. So this is the boundary, and there's Hong Kong already, the airport. So the problem there is we have to get from the Chinese controller to the Hong Kong controller, and he only can accept us at this point here, Sierra. It's called Sierra, and that's where the entry of the Hong Kong airspace is. So we're gonna fly here, and then it depends a little bit on the runway which is in use. Right now the wind is variable, so it's turning around somehow, and we actually don't know which runway they're gonna be using in approximately 40 minutes when we arrive there. At the moment it's runway 07, so it's to the east what they have, but it's likely that they change the runway to runway 25, which is westerly heading, because later on the day it's going to be westerly winds. So we're probably going to land on 25, but maybe it's 07. We already still programmed the systems for runway 07, but nevertheless we can change it pretty fast. If you're going to land on runway 07, it's a short way there. It's basically straight in if there's not a lot of traffic. From Sierra just to the north, and then we're going to make the approach into runway 07. And other than that, we're just preparing the airplane to make a safe landing there. We calculated some landing distances and what we can expect later on. So that's what we do now, from now on. And yeah, we're going to cope with the situation there, depending on which runway is in use, basically.
Well, since we're starting the approach, we will do the approach briefing for an approach to Hong Kong. So, let me start with the technical status. Everything is normal. Nothing occurred on the flight, so aircraft is fine for landing.
Right.
Since we've started the approach, the minimum altitude until we're reaching Hong Kong, if we don't descend past 6,000 feet now, we are safe. That mark all crews. Weather is fine, some clouds, not too windy, that's fine.
Yeah, for Hong Kong weather it's fine.
Winds are variable, so the calculation was made for a tailwind, just to make sure that it's enough.
Just got a new altitude here, it's still runway 07 left.
Okay.
Still wind variable 5 knots.
Good.
Same.
That's fine. So, we have around 9 tons of extra fuel for Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Which is more than 1 hour, so I'm relaxed about the fuel situation. And for an approach, would you kindly call up the ATIS?
There you go.
So that is then 0.
南方8314进近126.35再见。
12635南方8314。
南方3328广州进近126.35再见。12635再见，南方3328。Density 7016, contact Guangzhou 125.35, bye bye.
7-degree go around is also working, so we can use
730, call Guangzhou 125.35, bye bye.
730 125.35, over.
730 FM 125.35, bye bye.
730 125.35. Roger, 你好，Lufthansa 730 Super Flight over 9,500 meters.
Western 730, Guangzhou radar contact, track 222 Uniform Hotel.
Lufthansa 730, the Zulu Uniform Hotel.
That's perfect, direct Zulu Uniform Hotel.
Shortcut.
101 over Vivo.
AFM 10,335.
10,335, Guangzhou radar contact for separation, turn right heading 230.
Turn right heading 230.
Ansage 30 Minuten vorher?
Yeah, we'll do that in rating completed.
Okay.
So, let me go back to the briefing. That means
127.55 today.
12755, should be 77.
I promised Beate to turn on the seatbelt sign 30 minutes before, so can you just
switch it on? Thank you. And stop with the weather. It's lighted variable, minimum 230 knots. We expect a Sierra 7 Alpha arrival and then an ILS approach, which starts, let's say, at India Zulu Sierra Lima 4. Inbound track is 074 with 3 degrees of slope. Zulu Sierra Lima 1. And then we pass the minimum of 230 feet down to the runway 07 left.
Yep. And then 7052, Guangzhou radar contact.
The runway is more than 3,600 meters long and wide enough, so it's no problem at all. And the valid plan B would be 07 right for landing.
Yep.
And if we have to fly a missed approach, that's straight at 400 feet then to the waypoint DD, Lingi, X-ray 334 and Zambu. That means first slightly left and more left, 77 degrees and 110 degrees to Zambu. This missed approach nearly passes the highest elevation, which is 7,500 meters. Thrust idle, off descent, all blue, 7,500 meters. Okay, now do the rest of the briefing later.
Okay.
Do an announcement for the passengers right now.
Alright.
You have control?
I have control.
UPS 12, Guangzhou radar contact.
Control 17052, any chance to fly direct to Victor?
Ladies and gentlemen, once again Captain, we have left our cruising altitude as you know, in the descent towards Hong Kong. Running flight time is around, I'd say 25 to 30 minutes. The weather report indicates a lot of calm winds with a few clouds. And the temperature is 28 degrees Celsius.
1,300 meters.
BB 720, Connect Guangzhou 127.
Back in again.
127?
Ja, knappe 2000 Grad noch, sonst war hier nichts.
BB 720, repair 126.1.
Okay.
You have control?
I've control. Danke.
Translate 335 at Hong Kong 127.455. Good day.
So I'm gonna call Hong Kong on second set?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'm out of first set.
I'm in on set number 1.
Okay. Flight level 240, Boeing at 337.
Danke.
Descent 12, descent to 7,500 meters at 2,000 feet per minute.
So, ich bin wieder da.
Okay.
Der hat uns die Sierra 7 Charlie running.
Okay, so please insert Sierra 7 Charlie.
Right. 1,000.
Checked.
Scenario A1A, force temperature, reduce speed to minimum. Reduce speed to minimum, Qatar A2A.
Speed all-star.
Yep. So 7 Charlie is inserted.
Hong Kong 127.55. Good day.
12755, Captain 256 today.
对的，银行机5管15东方2东4。我2东4，广州雷达看到。
Macau.
730 at Hong Kong 127.455. Good day. 12755,
Hier ist die Brücke. Hier links.
GPS 12, descend to small 1 today. 127.11.
New bridge.
Good day.
Yes.
Senior 108 onto ferry, reduce speed to 230 knots.
108 after ferry speed.
Qatar 8434, turn left heading 040.
Heading 040, Qatar 8434.
Charlie 2007, descend to
Back to speed limit, Sierra 280, Borda 250.
Yep. It's a little bit longer than the Alpha arrival.
Yes, a little longer. Quite busy.
So I can try to get in.
For descent of level 200.
Welcome to level 730, approaching Sierra level 19. Scorpion 2053.
730 Hong Kong radar, squad ahead.
730 radar.
Linear 337 Hong Kong radar, identify squawk 3053, clear Sierra 7 Charlie arrival.
Sierra 7 Charlie arrival, Boeing at 327, and expecting any delay, Boeing at 327.
Linear 337 negative.
Call it back after address, Boeing at 327.
730, reduce speed to 230, knots, descend of level 130.
730, reducing 230 knots, and descending level 130.
Charlie 2007, descend to 3 knots, speed turn left heading 080.
Okay, thrust idle, open descent, all blue. Flight level 130.
Yep.
57 descending to flight level 110.
Traveling 697 Hong Kong radar, Macau 134, information November.
Information November, say again, terminate 697.
Traveling 697 Macau 133,
okay, what we do now is check the
1015, reduce speed to 210 knots.
This is the
9,000, 1015 to 10
range
knots.
we still have 87 miles, so that should work out. No problem with that.
119,
Yeah, it looks like we're going to apply all the transition here, right?
Most probably, yes.
730, turn left heading 140, speed 250 knots now.
730, left heading 140, speed 250 knots.
Linear 337,
so Alpha 9 up?
Alpha 9 up.
That's flight level 170, Boeing at 337.
And PTV blue.
After Sierra, reduce speed to 230 knots.
Level 230 knots after Sierra, EPS.
And for the viewers who are not familiar with the BTV system, that it means brake to vacate. This system exactly brakes the aircraft to meet the inserted exit.
Linear 337, turn left heading 190, factors for sequence.
And it works quite well.
It works very well.
1000.
And for the second one, the reverse, I would say either reverse should be enough today.
Yeah. Yep. The runway, of course.
Cathay 256, can I approach from another day, small one, good day. 191, good day, Cathay 251, 256.
Halt.
Lufthansa 730, come to the left turn direct to Murray.
Left turn direct Murray, Lufthansa 730.
Hong Kong radar, good afternoon. Chinese 733, flight level 210, squawk 6405.
Chinese 733, Hong Kong radar, you are identified. Clear Sierra 7 Charlie arrival.
Clear Sierra 7 Charlie arrival, Chinese 733.
No delay as it seems.
Heading 140, descend flight level 140.
No, not at all.
Lufthansa 730, descend flight level 110.
730, descending level 110.
Linear 337, speed 2.
Thrust idle. Open descent, alt blue. Light level 110.
Yeah, 2000.
Check.
Lufthansa 730, coming approach from 100 days, small one today.
119, this is 1 Lufthansa 730, good day. On our approach, good day, Lufthansa 730, level 125, descending level 110.
Lufthansa 730, runway 07 left, information is Golf, descend to 9,000 feet unrestricted, QNH 1015.
Lufthansa 730, runway 07 left, descending 9,000 feet unrestricted, and we have information Golf.
QNH 1015.
QNH 1015.
Okay, in that case, we will check the altimeters. I will call altimeters.
QNH 1015, 11,500, 700 meters.
1015, 11,700
feet, which is now feet, yeah.
3 times.
Cathay 900, runway 07 left.
Still around 45 miles to go, that checks with the altitude.
2000.
Checked.
Approaching Dynasty 671, identified level 10, speed 230.
Dynasty 671, speed 210 knots, runway 07 left, information Golf.
Speed 210, runway 07 left, information Golf.
Landing lights are on.
Yes.
Cathay 523, turn right heading 270 for 23 track miles.
Right heading 270, Cathay 523.
1000.
Lufthansa 730, fly heading 030, descend to 6,000 feet.
Heading 030, descending 6,000 feet, Lufthansa 730.
Cathay 523, reduce speed to 210 knots.
210 knots, Cathay 523.
6,000 blue.
Cathay 523, contact director 119.5 with call sign away.
1195, Cathay 523.
Cathay 256, turn left heading 290, descend to 4,000 feet.
Left 290, descend 4,000 feet, Cathay 256.
C671,
so this approach will be mainly above water with a few islands in between, but we will pass the mountain to the west and then right turn to the island 07
left and descend to 6,000
So we do have a sector altitude of 4,300 feet, which is quite high, due to the mountain.
Right.
730, turn left heading 350.
Left heading 350, Lufthansa 730.
Cathay 256, reduce speed to 210 knots.
Reducing 210 knots, Cathay 256.
Yeah, it's usually mount pretty close to the runway south. Yeah.
035.
Heading 025, Boeing at 337.
Lufthansa 730, turn left heading 320, descend to 4,000 feet.
730, left heading 320, descending 4,000 feet.
Cathay 900, reach 8,000 feet and 15 miles before Guava.
Roger, reach 8,000 feet, 15 miles before Guava, Cathay 900.
Cathay 256, contact direct 119.5 with call sign only.
1195, g'day, Cathay 256.
The ILS India Zulu Sierra Lima is checked.
Tahini 337, turn left heading 020.
Left heading 020, Boeing at 337.
Lufthansa 730, reduce speed to 220 knots.
Lufthansa 730, 6 speed 220.
I activate the approach phase.
Turn left heading 220, speed 210 knots, runway 07 left, information Golf.
Heading 220, speed 210 knots, 07 left, call 731.
Dynasty 671, descend to 9,000 feet, QNH 1015.
This is 9,000 feet, QNH 1015, Dynasty 671.
Bohemia 337, turn left heading 310, descend to 4,000 feet. Lufthansa 730, contact direct 119.5 with call sign only.
730, 119.5, call sign only, fine.
Bohemia 337, stop turn heading 3.
Checked.
Hong Kong direct to G'day, Lufthansa 730.
Cathay 523, turn right heading 040, clear as approach runway 07 left.
Right heading 040, clear for the order 07 left, Cathay 523.
Lufthansa 730, direct turn right heading 350, descend to 3,000 feet.
Lufthansa 730, right heading 350, descending 3,000 feet.
Cathay 256, reduce speed to 180 knots.
Reducing 180, Cathay 256.
Altitude 3,000 blue.
Yeah, well,
what I mentioned before, this altitude is definitely below the sector altitude, but we are above water and our position is checked.
yeah, we stay above water till almost the runway.
Yep.
Lufthansa 730, speed now 220 knots, caution 200 knots, descend to 2,000 feet.
Lufthansa 730, speed 200, descending 2,000 feet.
So what the viewers can see, they take their speed control and altitude control very, very
Cathay 256, turn right heading 040, clear as approach runway 07 left.
And since
Right,
we're rather
040,
slow,
clear the ILS 07 left, Cathay 256.
Lufthansa 730, reduce speed to 180 knots.
That's one.
Lufthansa 730, speed 180 knots.
Bohemia 337, turn right heading 340.
Right 340, Boeing at 337.
Cathay 523, contact town north 118.2.
118.2, Cathay 523.
Cathay 256, reduce speed to 160 knots, maintain your 5 miles final.
Reducing to 160 till 5, Cathay 256.
I will fly S-speed for the initial descent.
Alright.
At least for a couple of miles.
Cathay 256, you are 4.1 miles behind 330, ground speed 140 knots, caution possible wake turbulence.
Just wake turbulence here.
Exactly what she said on RT we had right now, that was the wake of a preceding aircraft.
Lufthansa 730, turn right heading 040, clear as approach runway 07 left.
That's 2.
Lufthansa 730, right heading 040, cleared for the ILS approach runway 7 left.
Dynasty 671, turn right heading 310.
Turn right heading 310, Dynasty 671.
Bohemia 337, turn right heading 355.
Right heading 355, Boeing at 3.
There's the new bridge again.
Yep. Yeah, right.
The entrance to the tunnel.
Oh, there's a tunnel going there from to the island there.
Yep.
182, Cathay 256.
Lufthansa 730, speed 160 knots, maintain your 5 miles final.
So 730, speed 160 to 5 miles final.
2,500.
Checked. So 2,200. Nearly approaching the glide slope. That means glide slope blue, lock blue, cut 3 dual, autopilot 1 and 2.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Hong Kong Shuttle 619,
Looks
direct
impressive,
down
yeah.
3,000 feet, turn right heading 300.
3000 feet, right heading 300, Hong Kong Shuttle 619.
Flaps 3.
671, C180 North.
B180.
Flaps 3.
Glide slope star.
Yeah, 6.5 miles, that's the right one.
That's checks, yes.
Dynasty 671, turn
Gear
right, heading
down.
340.
Gear down.
Alright, 340, that is 641.
Shuttle 619, reduce speed to 1.
I'll fly the rest without autopilot if you...
Alright.
Lufthansa 730, contact town North for 18.2.
118,
Dynasty 671.
Okay.
5000 fully missed approach.
Manage, please.
Yeah.
And then missed approach. Correct.
Lufthansa 730, Taiwan North, continue approach, runway 07 left, wind 280 degrees, 5 knots, becoming 120 degrees, 7 knots.
Okay. I selected.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Landing.
Alright.
Landing checklist.
ECAM Memo, landing, no blue.
Landing no blue. 1000 checked.
Checked.
Cathay 256, Alpha 8, Bravo 7.
Yeah, wind variable, turning around to the left side.
Lufthansa 730, wind 280 degrees, 5 knots, becoming variable 6 knots, runway 07 left, clear to land.
Clear land, runway 7 left, Lufthansa 730.
Cathay 256, contact ground 121.6.
Okay, the runway is straight ahead. Inside.
Free,
approach
so
altitude is set.
Yeah.
So I guess we have everything. We wait for the landing.
Right.
100 above. 300.
Slight tailwind from the left.
Minimum.
Continue. And roger on the wind.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. Retard. Retard.
Spoilers, reverse green, VTV decel.
I'll reverse.
North, afternoon, Boeing 237, ILS 07. 337, targeting.
Alpha 7, Alpha 8.
7 left, wind, tailwind up to 10 knots, and becoming variable at 5 knots at this.
So next one is Alpha 9er.
Yeah, coming up nicely.
70 knots.
Lufthansa 730, vacate Alpha 9, turn right on to Bravo, hold short Bravo 7. 730, Alpha 9, right on to Bravo, short Bravo 7. Bahania 337, wind at
So it's
right on Bravo,
right, second to the right.
To the right.
Yeah.
After landing items.
So it's straight and then the second right.
Yeah.
Yeah, hydraulic green, elect pump A4.
Taxi Bravo, hold short Bravo 7, contact ground 121.6.
It's switched off, so
yeah,
we have time for that.
Lufthansa 730. Lufthansa 730, Bravo, hold short Bravo 7, contact ground 121.6. 730, Bravo, hold short Bravo 7 on 116, going. Bye. Hong Kong, good day, Lufthansa 730 Super, turning right on Bravo.
Lufthansa 730, Grand good day, taxi Bravo, Bravo 7, Bay November 66.
Bravo, Bravo 7, Bay November 66, Lufthansa 730.
So next to the left,
599, contact ground south 122.95.
November 66 is right at the outer edge.
And a 5 with a crown.
Yeah, to the right of the British A380.
Yeah, right. Just landing lights here.
Yeah,
Hydraulic, green ELEC, pump A fault, green ELEC, pump A off, clear ELEC, clear hydraulic. Camera actions complete.
Okay, so this is just a left turn into the gate.
Yeah, you're right.
Not onto Bravo 7.
November 66, the straight line.
EVA A70, request taxi.
A380.
70 taxi, Bravo
the
7,
window there.
Bravo, hold short whiskey.
Bravo 7, Bravo, hold short whiskey.
Inside the docking
A70.
system, and there is one marshaller on the stairs.
Right.
Ground Bohemia 337, good afternoon, holding short whiskey.
Bohemia 337, Grand Taxi Whiskey, Bravo, Tango, Delta 212.
Taxi Whiskey, Bravo, Tango, Delta 212, Bohemia 337.
Parking, exterior lights.
Off.
Park and brake, shocks.
Park brake is on, shocks, we're waiting for the shocks.
Park and check is complete.
Checked.
Well done. Yep.
Finally, made it to Hong Kong. Parked at the gate, so...
Hi, good afternoon, sir. Chart sign position, and you may release your
we
parking
do
brake.
all paperwork, what we have to do, and when we leave the airplane.
Yeah, finally, after 10 hours.
Right, yeah.
Did you hear the ground?
No, I didn't.
They're not in.
Ground to copy.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, it's a chart sign position, and you may release your parking brake.
That's fine, the parking brake is released.
Copy that. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.